We are continuing socio-religious reform movements in India. Previously, we have seen different socio-religious reformers from Bengal region and Western India region. Now we are continuing that session with South India. In South India, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh occupied a major location. In these locations, we see how these socio-religious reformers contributed for the growth of a modern society. Let us start with the SNDP movement. SNDP movement means Sri Narayana Guru Dharma Paripalana movement. It was established by Narayana Guru Swami. He was from Elava community in Kerala. So he is from Kerala. He belonged to a community called Elavas. It was a backward class. It was a backward caste of toddy typers. They were considered as untouchables. The condition of untouchables was pathetic in the Indian context. The religion had imposed so many restrictions on untouchables. They were denied education, they were denied entry into temples, they were even not allowed to enter into public spaces. They were not allowed to take even drinking water from common water resources like ponds and tanks. This was the condition of untouchables in India. It goes against all kinds of human rights. So it has violated the human rights and human dignity. Sri Narayana Guru, he belonged to this particular caste. Now he had seen all the disabilities imposed by the orthodox Brahminical community on this caste just based on by birth. This is the kind of society we were living in that particular point of time. He revolted against it. Now he installed idols and created temples which are open for all. He wanted to reform the system, he wanted to reform the religion. He understood that these temples and the authority of Brahmins was a way of exercising authority over the society. He wanted to create temples which were open to all. He installed idols also. Because consecration of idols means installing idols in temples was considered as monopoly of the Brahminical caste. Only higher caste have the right to consecrate the idols. Now he had broken the tradition. He himself taken stones and he installed idols and started worshipping them as gods. So it has created a kind of temple. Now these temples are open for all castes irrespective of their birth. So this is a kind of promoting equality with respect to worship. So that is right to worship kind of thing. On the walls of a temple he has even written dividing walls of caste, race or hatred of rival faith. We all live here in brotherhood. So he is giving the message to the public that please divide of all these dividing walls. You free from all these unnecessary dividing walls. We all live here in brotherhood. We all belong to same community. He also has given a slogan like one God, one religion, one caste. That was the famous slogan of Sri Narayana Guru. So this was a kind of revolution in those times because creating own temples from lower caste was not liked by the existing Brahminical community, because the existing Brahminical community exercised the authority over society through these temple institutions. Now he tried to demolish that monopoly. So this was a kind of revolutionary development in Kerala during his time period, and he got so many followers later. one of his followers, Sahadaran Ayyappan, he said, he added to his slogan, Narayana Guru has said, one God, one religion, one caste. His student, Sahadaran Ayyappan, he even said, no God, no religion, no caste. All belong, all are equal in front of the nature. So this was the kind of impact Sri Narayana Guru had on the society in South India, particularly in Kerala. Sri Narayana Dharma Paripalana Yogam was a trust. It was registered as a trust and it took up several issues from Elavas such as right of admission to public schools, recruitment to government services, access to roads and entry to temples and political representation. Now, it wanted to reform beyond the religion. Though it started as a religious reform movement, now it wanted to uplift the lower caste people in all the dimensions, not only with respect to religious practices and religious rituals. Now they wanted equality and the right to admit in the public schools, that means right to education, recruitment in the government services, that means right to be appointed as government servant, right to get employment, and access to roads and entry of temples, that means right to go anywhere in the society. There was no restriction on the movement, right to movement. Political representation. So they wanted political representation from this caste so that those are in power can influence and can change the existing evils of the society. So these were the contributions from Sri Narayana Guru. Continuing his tradition, self-respect movement emerged majorly in Tamil Nadu area. It was started by E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar. He was known as famously Periyar in Tamil Nadu. He undermined the position of Brahmin priest by formalizing weddings without Brahmin priests. So these were like earlier Sri Narayana Guru, temples, in temples who were the people who do pujas for gods means Brahmins, and the Brahminical community enjoys the authority over society with respect to certain sacrifices, with respect to certain rituals, and with respect to the kind of rituals they do in temples. Now Ramaswamy Nayakar, he mainly focused on weddings without Brahmin priests. Generally, without Brahmin priests, marriages were not to be held in Indian society, in Hinduism. Now he wanted to break that monopoly of Brahminical rights. Now he wanted to formalize weddings without Brahminical priests. That shows that he wants equality among all kinds of people. So this is one kind of self-respect movement in Tamil Nadu, carrying the tradition of Sri Narayana Guru. In Andhra Pradesh, two important social reformers contributed so much for the upliftment of society in Andhra Pradesh. One was Kandukuri Veerasalingam, second one Gurujada Venkata Apparao. Kandukuri Veerasalingam was considered as Raja Rammohan Roy of Andhra Pradesh because he was the first one to conduct widow remarriage. He was the first to start co-educational schools in Andhra region. He was inspired by Brahma Samaj and its leaders like Raja Rammohan Roy and Keshav Chandra Sen. He also got inspiration from crusader against widow remarriages, crusaders in support of widow remarriages, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. So he took inspiration from these people from Bengal region and he started his own contribution for reforming the society in Andhra region. So Kandukuri Veerasalingam was regarded as Raja Rammohan Roy of Andhra Pradesh. One more important social reformer from Andhra region was Gurujada Venkata Apparao. He has written a play that was Kanya Sulkam in 1892. In this play, he has highlighted the existing social evils around this time. In the end of 19th century, how the society was existing. He has shown how the society existed as it is in his play with his characters. It highlighted the Kanyasulkam highlighted untouchability, existence of untouchability in society, child marriages, condition of widows, prevailing immorality in upper caste, particularly in Brahmins. He has highlighted all these social evils that are existing in the society, and through his writings, he created awareness in the Andhra region. He wrote even a patriotic song which became very popular, that is Deshamunu Preminchumanna. So, this patriotic song became so popular and it was sung by the nationalist leaders during freedom movement. This was the contribution of Gurjada Venkata Apparao. So these are some of the people from South India who were the social reformers. They wanted to create a society which is based on equality and brotherhood. And they wanted rights for all people without any restrictions. So they wanted a society based on the principles of French Revolution. They carried the principles of Brahma Samaj. They carried the principles of Prardhana Samaj in South India. So these are some of the important social reformers from South India.